Hi folks, here we are, Sonofdel's life vlog on this, the 12th Vlogmas. Can you believe that, eh? Can you believe that? Oof, wow. Well, it has been absolutely freezing cold here today. I mean, it hasn't got above minus all day, I don't think. We've not done a lot today at all, to be honest. We've done the advent calendars, which are obviously part of my vlog. That's coming up in a minute. I've got the answers to the quiz. My sister had a go at it and she did get 7 out of 10, bless her, she did. I don't know if anybody got any, thinks they got any more than that without looking. Anyway, the answers to that are coming up. I've also got the builds from yesterday and the builds from today that I'll be doing later, which include another strange looking contraption from Lego. I haven't a clue what half of these things are that I'm building. I don't know what yesterday's, me and Deb have been trying to figure it out. We haven't got a clue either. So yeah, that and a little bit of a talk. But first coming up, obviously, I've got the advent calendars and I will follow that with the Christmas quiz answers. What's Mum doing? Yeah.
Time. Is it time? It's advent calendar.
Is it time? Is it?
It's advent calendar time. It's find door 12. It's find door 12. Yeah. Door 12. You can take it today?
No. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Come here, just put your nose down, thank you.
Don't be cruel.
Get the dog slobber off it.
I told you.
Right. Oops, hold on a minute, dog. Your mum got this one up really well. Got it. Done this one up really well, mate. Make sure you can't get in it. Would you rather have that?
No.
Gentle. Sit. Sit. Ow, that was me toe. That was me toe. She bit me then. I'm going to torment you now. I'm going to torment you. Don't care. She's got it. Got it. Soppy. Oh, watch out. She's not
Do this one. Release. No. Have paw. Paw. Ta. That's my toe. You've got no spatial awareness, have you? No spatial awareness, have you? No, you haven't. No, you haven't. No. You got
Mine.
wise to that now, haven't you?
Mine. Not totally. Mine. Boop. Boop. Arr. Boop. Arr. Boop. Arr. Boop. Arr. Boop. Arr. Boop. Arr. Boop. You dumbass. You dopey dog. That'll do. Lego Door 12 on the Guardians of the Galaxy. And we haven't got a clue what yesterday's was. We've tried to work it out, but we haven't got a clue. Oh, God. I'm not sure. It looks like an ice cream maker or a coffee maker or something. I'm not quite sure that one.
It's the drinks.
It's the drinks dispenser thing.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a bottle of wine at the back, I think.
Ooh, bottle of wine. Oh, it has as well, look. A little bottle of wine. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, little bottle of wine and loads of other bits. It's like a cocktail cabinet, I suppose. A space cocktail cabinet.
And the dog's interested.
You can't eat that one, mate, sorry. And that is in what, store 11 of the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special Christmas Advent Calendar. Go away. Oh. Is she going to sneeze or what? Are you going to sneeze? No? Door 12 on the Christmas Advent calendar for Gibsons. Yesterday's was a rather cool one. I don't know if you saw it, Deb. It was dinosaurs. It wasn't dinosaurs.
It wasn't dragons.
I can't get this to open properly. I really can't. I'm trying to. I'm trying. Oh. The dog's just inspecting it. Make sure it passes muster. What do you reckon, Jess? Is that passing muster? Yeah. Door 12 of the Gibsons Jigsaw Advent calendar. Yeah, good stuff in the advent calendars again. Really do enjoy doing them jigsaws. And here we have the answers to the quiz. I'll just bring up the page so that I know where I'm at, because I don't want to complete Wally. Good old technology, eh? Right. In what year? Basically, 10 years, 10 questions, 3 choices for each one. We will start with the first question. In what year was the film White Christmas made? In what year was the film White Christmas made? I gave you 3 choices of 1951, 1954 or 1956. The answer to that first question was White Christmas was made in 1954. So if you got 1954, give yourself a pat on the back. You got that one right. The second question. One of my ultimate heroes, so I knew this anyway. When did Davy Bowie and Bing Crosby sing Little Drummer Boy, Peace on Earth? When did they sing it together? That's Bing Crosby and Davy Bowie, Little Drummer Boy, Peace on Earth. The options were 1977, 1979 or 1981. And the answer to that one is 1977. They actually recorded that song in 1977, and it was on a Bing Crosby Christmas special, if I'm not mistaken. Third question. In what year was the last Christmas Only Fools and Horses shown? Now, of course, with me being a massive Only Fools and Horses fan, I knew this anyway. I once did a quiz on Only Fools and Horses and got 49 out of 50, and the only one I got wrong was to do with the cameraman. He'd also done some other work on another comedy and I got that wrong, so I got 1 wrong out of 50. Anyway, in what year was the last Christmas Only Fools and Horses shown? Was it 2002, 2003 or 2004? That's 2002, 2003 or 2004. Drum roll. The answer to that one is 2003. It was the last one, and it was called Sleepless in Peckham. And it basically tied everything together, and it was a really good ending to it. And to be honest with you, I'm still gutted now that it's finished. All these years later, I still miss Only Fools and Horses. It used to be an absolute part of my Christmas every year without fail. For at least 20 years anyway. This one, if you've been watching The Crown or anything like that, you'll know this anyway. And with what happened, obviously, earlier on this year, bless her, the Queen passing away, I asked this question. In what year was the first televised Queen's Christmas speech? Now, obviously, it was years ago, and I gave you the choices of 1955, 1956, or 1957. Well, the first Queen's televised Christmas speech was actually 1957. So again, if you got that, give yourself a pat on the back. It's a good one, that one, wasn't it? This one is one of those questions that if you know it, you know it. I can imagine your mate Sarah getting this straight away anyway. In what year did the film Die Hard get released? That's the Bruce Willis special, like I say, with the brilliant, absolutely fantastic and much missed Alan Rickman. In which year did Die Hard get released, basically? And it was either 1988, 1999, 1990, ignore me, 1988, 1989 or 1990. Those were your three choices. And the answer was 1988. The first Die Hard movie was 1988. Right. In which year did the song Walking in the Air first get released? Now, a lot of people would find this one a bit tricky because they'd have been thinking of the Aled Jones song Da Da Da, but it wasn't. It was by a guy called, I've got Peter Autry in my head, but it might not be him. Anyway, in what year did the song Walking in the Air first get released? I gave you 1980, 1982 or 1984, and the answer to that one is 1982. It was first released as a single in 1982, and it wasn't by Aled Jones. This one was one for the soap opera fans, this one was. In what year did Dennis Watts serve Angie with divorce papers at Christmas time? Now, this is when I used to watch it back in the 80s. I haven't watched it for about 30 years, so you can tell how long it is since I've, you know, Dennis Watts and Angie Watts, they were two of the central characters back in the day. And what it was I seem to remember that Angie lied to him and said she was dying in order to make sure he didn't leave her. And I think he overheard a telephone conversation where she basically admitted that she'd lied. So what he did, he served her with divorce papers on Christmas Day, and the answer was, the choices were 1986, 1988 or 1989. And it was Christmas 1986 that Den Watts served Angie with divorce papers in EastEnders. Now, I'm a massive fan of these, and I've got a box set of all their shows and everything. What year was the last Morecambe and Wise Christmas special shown? Now, like I say, Morecambe and Wise, we've not had entertainers like them since. You know, the two Ronnies, Morecambe and Wise, people like that, they just don't exist no more. We don't get entertainers like that. But the last Christmas Morecambe and Wise special, was it shown in 1975, 1976 or 1977? And the answer is, the last Christmas special was shown in 1977. I'd have been 5. That's a scary thought. Now I'm 50. Now this one, I'll tell you a bit about this one in a minute once I've read the question. When did Frank Spencer become a Christmas elf in Some Mothers Do Have 'Em? Now, Some Mothers Do Have 'Em's brilliant. Michael Crawford, absolutely great. And the thing about it is he did all his own stunts. And some of the stunts in it, you would not believe a person would do their own stunts. They would have had a stunt man doing it and everything. He did all his own stunts. And in this particular episode, he's an elf. Basically, he's a pixie really. He's basically hanging from a thread, and he's basically telling all the boys and girls that Santa's ready so you can go and sit on his knee, etc, etc. Now, the answers were 73, 1975 or 1976. Now, the answer to this one is 1975. And while I was checking this, just to make sure I was right, before I actually did the question, I found something out which made me exactly worry about the next generation and whatever's going on. In that particular episode, he's dressed in a short green outfit thing with a pixie hat on and all that, and he basically looks down on all these children who are there, and he's supposed to say, I'm a pixie, and all you boys, I'm in charge of all you little boys and girls, and you've got to be good and all this. And one of the kids shouts up, no, you're not, you're a puff. And apparently people have complained about that particular episode, and they had to actually investigate it for homophobia because the little lad had called him a poof. Now, no offence, but if that is offensive, then every day of the week somebody should get arrested. Because I hear that in old comedies, I hear it all over the place. And if you can't say the word puff, then I'm sorry, we are definitely lost as a society. We really are. And they had to actually put a warning to state that the views then are not the views now, and that back then more was allowed that shouldn't have been allowed. What I actually think is back then we had a sense of humour, and now we haven't. That's my view. Anyway, that's question 9 before I start on a debate. And the last question, question 10, was what year did Elton John's Step Into Christmas get released? And the choices were 1974, 1976 or 1978. Now it's a really good tune, it's a very catchy tune, and it's one that's always played on Christmas albums and everything. And the year it was released was actually 1974. So I'd have only been 2 when that was released, which makes me feel even older than I am. So basically, if you got more than 5 out of them, brilliant. If you got 7 like my sister, excellent. And if you got 10, you should be doing your own questions. Simple as, because you're a genius. You really are. But that is the end of my Christmas quiz, what the year was. Hope you enjoyed it. And now we've got yesterday's builds, followed by today's builds. Yeah, like I just stated before, to do with the Michael Crawford, Frank Spencer thing, the amount of things that people are complaining about these days is quite worrying. It's quite worrying because everything that's going on in society, everything that's going on, wars, famines, all sorts of stuff, you know, people being thrown out of their own countries and houses and having to make pilgrimages across flaming Europe and all sorts. And we're bothered that because in 1970s, somebody used the word poof in a series. If that is all your life worries are, mate, I will say you are one lucky person. Because people at the moment, they can't even afford to put food on the table. They can't afford to put the heating on so that they can warm themselves up on freezing cold days like this. But no, as long as we sort out something that happened 50 years ago almost, because it's upset somebody now, you know, I'm sorry, but it's taking it too far. It's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, but society is finished. As far as I can see, sense of humour will be something soon that you probably have to pay for. Because hardly anybody's got one. Hardly anybody's got one. Oh, do you think it's funny to do stupid things like knocking a bottle of Jack Daniels down as quick as you can for TikTok or something like that, you know? Or standing on the end of a cliff while you take a selfie and then falling to your death. Oh yeah, people think that's hilarious. But not stuff that we used to laugh at, because we could laugh at ourselves back then. You know, I could laugh at people dressing up as women, I could laugh at people blacking up and dressing up and all sorts of stuff, because we had a sense of humour. Nobody was thin-skinned back then. You know, people might say, oh yeah, but it was racist, We were more tolerant back then. We were more tolerant. I'm sorry, I used to live on an estate that was 83% Asian, and the amount of times I got abuse from the Asians for being white, you wouldn't believe it. But if you brought that up, they'd just go, oh, well, that's all right, they're allowed to say what they want. It's like, oh, charming, so they're allowed to say what they want, but I'm not allowed to say what I want. Because if I do it, it's racist. If they do it, it's just them talking. I don't understand that. How does that work? How does that work? Like I said, today has been really freezing cold. Now, tomorrow, we are hoping to go down to town, because we haven't been downtown for ages, because I won't use public transport now. I don't feel safe on it because of my legs, to start with. I have to go everywhere wearing calipers. I also have to have my stick and a glove so that I can hold on to the stick. So I do not feel safe on public transport, because the amount of times where I've been on a bus and I've pressed the bell and stood up to move to the front, and the driver has either gone straight past the stop or he's put his anchors on quick, and I've nearly gone flying, and I'm not going to do that no more. So we're getting this friend to drop us off tomorrow early morning, just after 9 o'clock, and then we're going to have a nice few hours walking around town. We're going to have a Costa coffee, hopefully, if it isn't too busy, and we're going to do stuff we haven't done for a long time. We'll pop in, see a couple of people we know down there, because we want a bit of Christmas atmosphere. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's only less than 2 weeks to go now. 2 weeks today will be Boxing Day, if I got that right. Yeah, it is. So if you think about it, 2 weeks, it goes really quick, and in 3 weeks, we'll already be in 2023, you know. 2023 will be in, and it's like, what? In 3 weeks, it will be the second of the year, you know, so you've got to make the most. But we'll be going down there, we'll be doing a bit of Christmas shopping, soaking up a bit of Christmas atmosphere. It's going to be freezing cold, I know it's going to be freezing cold, but I'm going to be wrapped up like you would not believe. I'm going to make the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man look like he was wearing a, you know, a scarf. Nothing. I'm literally going to be padded up to bits, I'll tell you that now. Definitely am. Because this cold weather, I'm telling you, I had to go out about 20 minutes ago. Not out, just out into the front to put out the bins, because it's our bin day tomorrow, plastic bins and cardboard and stuff. And literally, as soon as I stepped outside, the cold just literally went straight down my body. And within about 5 seconds, I couldn't feel the bottom of my legs at all. They were completely numb. I thought, oh, I'm going to end up on my backside in a minute. But luckily, we've got brilliant neighbours. And my neighbour saw me and basically took the bags off me and put the plastics bin out for me. You know, they didn't have to do that. It was really nice of them. But we've got good neighbours, you see. That's another thing. You're coming up to that time of year now where people in your street, even if you just say hello to them or pop them a Christmas card through the letterbox, they'll be happy as anything. You know, you don't have to go mental and say, oh, I'll take you out for a 4-course meal and out like that. Just to acknowledge that they're there. Because let's be honest, if it was your elderly mum or your elderly mum and dad or elderly dad, would you really, really want them to feel so lonely and isolated at Christmas? Wouldn't you make the effort to basically be there for them? Because I would. Anyway, on that note, I have finished for today. My vlog is full. I hope you enjoyed the Christmas quiz. I'll try and get another one done before the end of Vlogmas. I've got another 12 days. But you take care. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed the vlog, recommend it to other people. The more the merrier. I've got 838 subscribers, which means I've got a new one since yesterday, which is great. But if you enjoyed the content, subscribe. The button's coming up in a minute. If you want to see the vlog playlist, when I put my teeth in, the vlog playlist, that's coming up as well. That comes up at the bottom of the screen. And also yesterday's vlog. So if you wanted to watch yesterday's before today's, then you could do the quiz and see if you can get them right on the same day. You never know. You all take care, and I'll do another vlog tomorrow. Bye for now.